Hi, my name is Beausoleil, and I'm a Senior Product Manager at Brocade. And for today's Tech Talk, I'm going to mention some of the new aspects of the Fibre Channel SAN support that was just recently introduced in OpenStack. So it was about approximately a year and a half ago at the Grizzly Design Summit that we had this initiative within the Cinder working group to provide FC SAN extension, right? And this got ratified by a team of storage vendors, including Brocade, that led this whole initiative to produce two blueprints. One was a volume manager, Fibre Channel Volume Manager, and that Fibre Channel Volume Manager was introduced in the Grizzly release, right? So with the Fibre Channel Volume Manager, the Volume Manager is able to now provision storage, FC storage, based on a request from a host or a VM. And then one of the things, or one of the limitations that the Volume Manager had was that it did not perform any zoning operations. So that meant that you had to manually pre-zone or provide open zoning. And you know, when you zone storage to a host, it's all about providing that accessibility. So to address this operational limitation, a second blueprint was introduced, and the FC Zone Manager, I'm happy to say, has been incorporated into the recently announced Icehouse release, right? So with the FC Zone Manager, you're now able to automate the all zone operations. And specifically, what this is doing is supporting a couple of different zone management capabilities. One is that it's dynamically configuring the zones as needed, as well as providing SAN contacts. And I'll talk a little bit about that in detail in a little while. It also allows for this zone changes to occur without any manual intervention, right? So again, that part of orchestrating resources in a cloud environment is to have this happen on the go dynamically. So, so some of those zone lifecycle management operations would be creating a zone, adding a zone to a zone set, updating the zone, removing the zone. Those are kind of the basic aspects of any zone management functionality. So, so as part of this Fibre Channel Zone Manager that was added to Cinder, there were a number of different components that support the architecture. And I'm just going to review just what those main components are. Now, the Volume Manager is a key component of that because the Volume Manager provisions the Fibre Channel storage. And then there's the volume driver, which works with the respective vendor arrays, right? We're also allowing now the interaction between the Volume Manager and the Fibre Channel Zone Manager, and it too has a driver that is vendor specific, and Brocade makes available a driver for Brocade SANs. There's also a FC SAN lookup service, and this lookup service is needed to address a couple of different scenarios when it comes to zoning operations involving multiple fabrics, and I'll talk about that as I go through one of my examples. So let's take a look operationally at how the FC Zone Manager works, and what I'm going to go through is it's kind of like an architectural overview of the flow. So here you have a host A that may have a VM that's requesting storage resources. So we now add in the circle, red circle, the FC Zone Manager, and then of course there's a driver associated with that FC Zone Manager. That FC Zone Manager is essentially handling calls from Cinder, right? So it's it's a Cinder service. It works in conjunction with the Volume Manager. So that's pretty much the architectural overview. Now, when the host requests storage, it does so through Nova, right? Nova provides the worldwide name to Cinder, and then the Volume Manager takes this request and then looks at what it has available in terms of storage arrays. It then goes through and assigns or provisions storage from one of those available arrays, and then it determines at that point, after it has provisioned storage, if fiber channel zoning or fabric mode is enabled. If fabric mode is enabled, then the volume manager makes a call to the FC zone manager. The FC zone manager in turn assigns and creates a zone. So now, once the zone has been created, the host has access to that storage that has been provisioned, and from a fiber channel perspective, everything is whole, right? So that host can only communicate to that storage. So one of the concerns of having this particular scenario is that we may not have a single fabric. We may have multiple fabrics within our environment. And from that perspective, this provides a challenge, because we have to know exactly what hosts are connected to which storage devices. In other words, we do not want the volume manager to go off and attach storage to a host that doesn't have connectivity. So with this in mind, there's a new component that's been added as part of the FC Zone Manager. It's a FC lookup service. And the FC lookup service essentially allows the volume driver, right, that's the storage array volume driver, to understand exactly which hosts are connected to which storage arrays. This is important because once you provision the storage, you want to make sure the host can access that storage. So once that is determined, then the volume manager presents a list of candidates. This is, again, a list of storage arrays that are available for provisioning and solving and addressing the request that's being received from Nova for that particular storage. So this is pretty much the workings of FC Zone Manager that's made available in the Icehouse release, and you can download this code through OpenStack.org. And it'll also be made available through any of the other distros that you may utilize that's leveraging Icehouse. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.